Hello and welcome to the official Haters Euro 2024 Daily Show. I'm your host, Aaron Goldstein, and I am joined today by Nathan Edwards and Freddie Walker. We're going to go through all of yesterday's action before looking ahead to the big one, England versus Serbia. A reminder, we are live every single day at 1 o'clock. We'll bring you exclusive training clips, interviews, and reports from our team on the ground in Germany. But let's go ahead with yesterday's action. Nathan, Hungary versus Switzerland. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought it was a really fun game. I thought, Switzerland probably had the more cutting edge, but Hungary offered something. A lot of people said they were dark horses, but so maybe that's changed a bit. But I didn't think they were that bad. And Dua scored the first goal, and he's London born, so hopefully he's not the last London born goal scorer today or yesterday or this weekend.
A reminder that Haters have partnered with Sofascore, literally one of the best apps around for football stats and updates of all forms. Granit Xhaka rightfully took many of the plaudits yesterday, but the player that scored the second goal was Michel Aebischer. I hope I'm saying his name right. The Sofascore graphics should be on the screen right now. What did you think of him?
Yeah, he was everywhere down that left wing. He normally plays centre mid when he's at Bologna, but yeah, today he played on the left side, and he cut in quite a lot for when he scored his goal, which was incredible. When he obviously got the assist for the first goal as well, and yeah, he was everywhere. He was really good.
I mean, I'm not going to pretend that I knew too much about Aebischer ahead of yesterday. I mean, I've done all my research on him since then. Who's your favourite relatively unknown player that has just come to light at the Euros? Freddie, let's go for you first.
I'm thinking of that Renato Sanchez Euro 2016 performance where he got Young Player of the Tournament, got a big move to Bayern Munich, and then how that's kind of all petered out essentially over the last few years. Swansea icon, then moved to Lille and then PSG, and it's been a bit of all over the shop for him. But yeah, he had a pretty iconic performance at that 2016 Euros.
Obviously, we just touched on Aebischer there. I did run over Granit Xhaka. So, Nathan, Granit Xhaka, how good is he? And would Arsenal have won the league if he'd stayed at the club?
I don't think so, no. Like, you've already got Declan Rice there who kind of replaced his role, but he's really good now. I heard him say something today that since taking his coaching badges, he's become a much better player, and you can obviously maybe his understanding of the game's become better, and he seems a lot cooler headed, which was not the case when he was at Arsenal at times.
Yeah, that's fair enough. This is how Group A is now looking. That will be on the screen right now. Any surprises? What do you think, Nathan?
I don't think so. I think if you said that after the games happened, I don't think it'd be too shocking. Obviously, Scotland had a shocking start, and things surely can only go up for them. And Hungary will be looking to bounce back. But yeah, Switzerland and Germany will definitely be happy with their starts.
Please do get your comments coming through. We will get to them. Freddie, anything so far?
Well, we've just got the poll at the moment. So who will win Euro 2024 Golden Boot? There's a high percentage on Harry Kane to win it so far, 40%. Cristiano Ronaldo at 28% and Kylian Mbappe with 22%. So maybe a few England fans throwing that poll there.
Nice. Well, on to Spain versus Croatia yesterday. What a game. How good was Spain?
Spain were really, really good. They made a real statement to be one of the teams that are potentially going to win this tournament. As did Germany the night before. Two teams that aren't the favourites. You've got France and England that are up there, but they're very close behind, and they're going to be on the other side of the draw probably now after looking at those performances. And many people predicted Croatia to actually get something in that, but the way that they just dealt with it in the first half, 3-0. Good night, Croatia, I guess.
Well, I read as well that despite Spain's fantastic performance, it was their first game in 136 competitive matches, stretching all the way back to Euro 2008, which you probably don't even remember, Nathan, that Spain had less possession than their opponent. Wow. Is this a different Spain? What's different? They're still great.
It's definitely a different Spain. It's definitely a different era. More direct, I guess. You saw that with the first goal. It was just a lovely pass, I believe, from Ruiz. Straight through the middle. Morata just slotted it. Yamal, very direct into the box. Nice finish from Carvajal. So maybe less so focused on tiki-taka football that you kind of associate with Spain in the past, but still a very, very good team.
You can't look past Lamine Yamal, the youngest player to ever play at the European Championships, and he just looked right at home, didn't he? Sofascore provided us with his stats from yesterday.
Wow. So minutes played, 84. He got that one assist, as I mentioned, to Dani Carvajal. 3 shots on target. Successful dribbles, 3 out of 4. Big chances missed, 1. Key passes, 3. So he had a really, really strong game there.
Where does he rank in the best under 21 players in the world?
I think he has to be up there in the top 2. Jude Bellingham is currently 20. So if we're going under 21, then I would put Bellingham ahead of Yamal based on just having more seasons in the professional game. But I'm sure Yamal could potentially overtake him in years to come.
Okay, I don't want to be that miserable person. And I'm not saying he's a fraud at all. But 5 goals, that's all he got in La Liga this season. 37 appearances. None in the Champions League. I mean, we always think about English players, but young players in general, do we just put a little bit too much pressure on them? I'm not sure if he's that good that quickly.
I think so, but you've got to associate those guys with Barcelona that come through that academy. They love their youth, don't they? And when they get excited about someone, they very often are a hell of a player. You've seen that with the likes of Messi, Xavi, and Iniesta. So obviously we'll see, and we might be putting a lot of pressure on him, but so far he's dealing with it.
Nathan, I saw your eyebrows. They went when he said top 2.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just trying to think what I was doing when I was 16, probably playing the FIFA World Cup mode and trying to pack players of his quality. But no, he's incredible. I remember watching him when he came to London for Spain, and he's just the sort of player you'd pay to watch. He's so exciting. He's so direct, and he can pass like he did for the Carvajal goal, but he can also, his dribbling is crazy as well. But yeah, top 2, that is high praise.
It is high praise, yeah.
What's up with Danny Carvajal? Only scoring for fun. Champions League final, first game of the Euros, Golden Boot. Let's get him on that poll. I mean, probably not, but still. Anyway, on to the final game of the day yesterday, which was Italy. Shocking start, but they turned it around like reigning champions should do. Barella with, a contender for goal of the tournament. Nathan.
Yeah, it was incredible. I saw something as well that it was the second time in history that they've come back from behind in a Euros game and won. I think they're disregarding the Euro final last time against England. But yeah, no, that it was obviously shows a good mentality, a really strong mentality. And Barella was probably at the heart of it. That goal, first time.
Yeah, let's take a look at Barella's stats from yesterday. It should be on the screen right now. 89 minutes. He obviously got subbed just off before the end. That ridiculous strike, 117 touches, very accurate passing, as he always is for Inter Milan. 6 out of 6 long balls, one half of his duels, and a Sofascore rating of 8.0. Reminder that you should be downloading Sofascore if you like football, because it's a very good app for football fans. You can scan the QR code in the top left corner. Highly recommend it. Yes, back to Barella and Italy. Just where does he rank in the midfielders of the tournament, Nathan?
Yeah, I think it's probably been the tournament for midfielders. I think in every game there's been a midfielder who's shined. Xhaka in the Switzerland game, Toni Kroos in the first game, and now Barella. And I thought Jorginho did quite well, but yeah, I think Barella is definitely up there. Probably the performance of the tournament so far, potentially, and he kept it off with a great goal.
Your favourite goal from yesterday?
Favourite goal has to be the Barella one, but a very close second is the Fabian Ruiz one for Spain, where he, dancing feet, glides through Croatia and just slots it nicely.
You agree, Nathan?
Yeah, I did like the duo goal yesterday as well. His first ever goal, and he was a doubt to get into the squad, let alone start. So that's quite, I suppose, a nice story behind it.
Yeah, the thing with the Switzerland-Hungary game, it was kind of bizarre. Everyone thought Hungary were going to come in and take the tournament by storm. All of these, wannabe football nerds. No, nobody has any idea. I'm not buying it. They all watched Hungary. Do you see all the memes coming across of their number 9 when he came on the pitch?
Oh, Jesus,
like a truck.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I'm not defending against it myself. So how does that leave Group B looking? If I can get the graphics on the screen right now, Spain obviously top the group, Italy second, Albania third, and Croatia rock bottom. Any surprises there for you after match day 1, Nathan?
I don't think so. I think Albania were quite good. Obviously, maybe the scoreline of the Croatia game, but Spain did win 7-0 in their opening game of the World Cup 2022 against Costa Rica and then kind of plateaued. So I suppose now it's about being consistent and not just kind of living off this game.
Well, if you look at the fixtures coming up next, Croatia must be thanking their lucky stars that they have Albania next and not Italy, because that gives them a real chance of getting back on their feet. Do you think they will do?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but I think Albania showed that they are, and the crowd helped them a lot as well. Like we saw clips from them, the roaring and the cheers. It was crazy in there. But it won't be an easy game for Croatia, but yeah, it's definitely a better game to bounce back from.
Now, before we jump ahead to England, which is, of course, the topic that everybody wants to talk about, listen to, we should touch on the other games happening today, because there are other games happening today. First up, in just under an hour's time, is Poland against the Netherlands. The team news is in. Freddie, any surprises there?
Well, I think I'll just run through the teams quickly. We've got Verbruggen in goal, Dumfries at right wing back, De Vrij, Van Dijk, Nathan Ake, Veerman, Charlton, Xavi Simons, Renders, Gakpo, Depay. Then for Poland, Szczesny, Bednarek, Salomon, Kivior, Frankowski, Zielinski, Romanzuk, that's a tough one, Zaleski, Szymanski, Buksa, and Urbanski. And so, I mean, the big surprise I would say is well, maybe not surprise, but Dumfries and Frimpong. There was a big debate whether Frimpong would be starting. He's not. Dumfries has kept his place after a great World Cup last time out for the Netherlands. And then also on the Poland side, obviously, I didn't say the big name there. No Lewandowski starting for them. He kind of picked up an injury in one of the friendlies before the tournament. So that's going to be a big miss for them as well.
No, Jeremy Frimpong is a little bit outrageous in my opinion. I know Dumfries is a fantastic player. But you've got to put in Frimpong after one of the great seasons at fullback for Bayer Leverkusen. They lost one game, as everyone knows, in the Europa League final. Okay, everyone has an off day. Frimpong is sensational, and I reckon he has the potential to light up this European Championships and whatever team he plays for next season, whether it's Leverkusen or whether he goes abroad. No Lewandowski though. Lewandowski, however you pronounce his name. Tough with the Polish names. It's really tough.
Just found out.
Yeah, I felt bad for that. But surely that means Netherlands are the favourites. Can I have score predictions from you both, please?
I'm going to go 3-1 to the Netherlands on this.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-0 now. I said draw, but with no Lewandowski, I think Netherlands will do it now, 2-0.
Any comments coming through so far on this game or anything else?
Yeah, well, we did have Right Heart Lane saying Kane will win the Golden Boot. So that's one from the we've got Ijeola watching from Southwest Nigeria, so he's interested in the Euros. And that's all that we've got so far. So yeah, it's looking good.
Well, one man pretty much out of the running for the Golden Boot will be Lewandowski. So Kane, one less competitor. Yeah. There is another game that concerns England today. The Group C opener, Denmark versus Slovenia in Stuttgart, a stadium that was formerly known as the Adolf Hitler Kampfbahn. They did have to change that. I'm not sure why. Out of these two sides, which is England's bigger threat?
Here, I think it has to be Denmark. The bigger threat here. I think the biggest threat is actually Serbia, who they're playing today. But yeah, Denmark, obviously we saw it was the semi-final of the Euros last time out, and they caused England some trouble. It got close there. So yeah, I think that'll be the bigger threat.
It's very interesting you say that you think Serbia are a bigger threat than Denmark. I'm not sure. I'm not sure everybody would agree. Let's start with you, Nathan. Do you?
Yeah, I actually do. I think, especially with like the likes of Maguire not here, and they're quite a physical side. They've got tall players, and crossing is probably going to be a big aspect of their side. So it'll be interesting to see how England deal with it. But I think, I agree with Freddie. I think Denmark will be a big threat. But yeah, it's going to be a difficult group stage to navigate for England.
Do you think if, let's say, Denmark wins 3-0 today, 4-0, do you think England will start getting a little bit nervous ahead of Thursday? Or should England just go into every game thinking we're better than you, we'll win anyway?
That's the mentality they should be going in with. They should be thinking that they can win all three.
You're not Iceland, we can beat you.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think they should be going in thinking they can win these 3 games. I think Denmark are maybe just a little bit aging compared to the kind of previous tournaments where they had somewhat of a good era. Maybe not golden era, but a good era. So yeah, I think that's why they're not as much of a threat this tournament.
Anybody you're looking forward to seeing in the Denmark team?
I think in the game, I think Sesko should be quite an interesting player. And Oblak as well. He's obviously, I don't think he's ever featured in a major tournament, so it'll be interesting to see how he performs. But Sesko, everyone's eyes are on him, especially Arsenal and Chelsea fans and people like that. So we'll be seeing how he performs against Christensen and players like that.
Yeah, honestly, Jan Oblak, what a goalkeeper! I almost feel bad for him because he's never gonna win all these top things because he doesn't play for a seriously brilliant national side, and he's playing in Spain where Real Madrid and Barcelona have the monopoly over winning the trophies there. But he's a serious shot stopper, and he's someone that I worry about England facing. If we need a result against them, he's like an octopus goalkeeper. They scare me,
especially when you look at the last few tournaments, and England don't tend to light it up in the group stages. So if they do have a goalie like that can make the difference, it's scary.
I'm pretty happy with this because we've now spent 15 minutes covering every other game. And now we can go on to the topic that we all care about. England kick off their Euro 2024 journey tonight against Serbia. Haters are out on the ground in Germany and got some training clips for us. Exclusive ones, I might add. Sorry for my old British man humour, but for a second there, I thought England had brought the weather with them, but it was the sprinkler. But the first thing I really noticed in the training clips is Kieran Trippier. He's going to be playing at left back surely today. Do you think?
Yeah, that seems like the most likely. Luke Shaw doesn't seem like he's going to be fit until the second group game. So KT will probably slot in there. There's questions to be asked whether we should have taken a more natural left back like Tyreek Mitchell. Why they haven't, we're not sure. But he had a great season with Crystal Palace. He played very well for them, and he would have been a good addition to the squad to have more of a natural left back. But then Kieran Trippier hasn't really let England down in tournaments. He's obviously a threat on set pieces, so it's also good to slot him in there.
He hasn't let England down, but there was a period this season for Newcastle where I just didn't think he was up to scratch anymore.
For sure, 100% agree. Yeah.
I just think so. Playing a player that maybe past their best, out of position, that's a recipe for disaster. You look at this England defence in previous tournaments, and it's been very, very, very strong. Nathan, you look, how big is it going to be missing Harry Maguire?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, like I said, I think Serbia's, out of their last 15 goals, 14 of them have come from either corners, set pieces, or crosses. So Maguire, he's a tool.
That's not the kind of stat that everybody just knows off.
No, he's an empowering figure at the back, and I think. I don't know if Guy has that. He's already great. He's a good player, and I think we will dominate the ball. So it will be important for his, passing ability to get involved. But when we're defending, it'll be interesting to see how he deals with the likes of Vlahovic and Mitrovic and all the other players.
It's really weird. I mean, we can talk about the England defence for ages because I personally was very confused why he didn't bring Jared Branthwaite. I thought he had a fantastic season. I am not the biggest fan anymore. I'll make it very clear, not any more of Lewis Dunk. I think he's past it. Very surprised that he's there. Who do you think is going to be the England two centre-backs today?
Has to be Mark Gay and John Stones, I believe.
Yeah, I agree. I think Dunk, you saw against Lukaku, he really struggled against quality strikers. And yeah, we'll need everyone to be at their best today to deal with a handful of Serbia.
Well, the man behind the defence is Jordan Pickford. Two clean sheets and 2 games away from becoming England's record holder, as overtaking Peter Shilton as the goalkeeper with the most clean sheets and appearances for England at a major tournament. He is so pivotal for England, and he's so underrated. What do you think?
Yeah, I completely agree. I don't think he's ever let England down in the shirt. And if you look at the stats here, the one that stands out to me is goals conceded per match. Only 0.74 for England compared to 1.44 at Everton. So obviously he does have probably a better defence in front of him at England, but it just highlights the fact that he's not conceding loads of goals. He's not making big mistakes. And obviously with Ramsdale not playing for Arsenal this season, that's made it maybe a bit more of an easier decision. But yeah, I think he should 100% be in there. I
think it could have been a bit more of a selection headache had Ramsdale been playing. Yeah. Freddie, if you look at that, 1.98 saves per match for England instead of 2.93 for Everton. That is because he's got a better defence in front of him at England. But it's going to be a makeshift defence this time around. Is he the man for the big occasion? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's when Pickford performs best, when all the eyes are on him. When he goes up to Newcastle, when he's playing for Everton, he always puts in a great performance. Obviously, at the World Cup in 2018, he made a great save. Even in the final of the Euros last time, he saved Jorginho's penalty when he had to. He loves the big occasion.
That clip of him, it's like, he's like mentally preparing himself. You're going to save this.
No problem.
And he just does it. It's just what he does.
Yeah, he loves the big occasion.
I'm a big Jordan Pickford fan. I think it's a little bit unfair sometimes, the criticism he gets, particularly at Everton. He doesn't really get it much for England. But yeah, in who England are coming up against today, let's get a graphic of the danger men for Serbia. You look at that goal scoring record from Mitrovic. I think it should have a little bit of an asterisk. 45 games played, 41 goals scored with 7 assists. He scores, It's ridiculous. Every 90 minutes is guaranteed a goal, according to Sofascore stats. Reminder, you should be downloading the Sofascore app, not just because I'm telling you to, but because if you're watching this, you probably like football, and it's a very good app to have if you like football. His average rating is 7.53. The asterisk, of course, comes from the fact that he is playing in Saudi Arabia. Freddie?
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely inflated numbers, but we do know that Mitrovic is a clinical striker and he'll punish you on your day. So will Vlahovic. He's actually had a pretty good season for Juve, but they've also got other dangers. Tadic, who came on against Sweden in their last game and scored. Milinkovic-Savic, also a great player, and also playing in Al Hilal with Mitrovic. So he's got also somewhat inflated stats this season, with 11 goals and 12 assists. So maybe they'll have a nice little link up, Mitrovic and Milinkovic-Savic, based on the fact that they play together at club level.
I mean, any Arsenal fan, as soon as they hear Dusan Vlahovic, headaches, nightmares. That whole saga was horrible. Nathan, apart from these two, who is the biggest threat for you facing England today?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be Mitrovic. It'll be interesting to see how those two line up together, because they're normally seen as like lone strikers. But yeah, I think it's got to be Mitrovic. Obviously, Dusan Tadic, as Freddie mentioned, they link up quite well at international level. And in defence, they got a kind of young guy called Pavlovic, who could have a great season or great campaign. And it'll be interesting to see how he fares against Harry Kane and players like that.
No, I think we've touched enough upon the opposition, because I think realistically, we're England. We should have enough quality. We don't need to worry about them. We did hear from England captain Harry Kane and his relationship with our newest global superstar, Jude Bellingham.
Earlier here, great season in terms of goal scoring as yourself. How do you work with him? Can you give us a little bit of insight in what's happening in the opponent's box and around? Are you bossing him around, telling him where to go, or how do you work together to make yourselves even more dangerous together?
Yeah, I think we do that on the training pitch. We try and be in scenarios that will be in the game, whether that's on the halfway line with the movements that we make, or in the opposition box. All over the pitch. I think, of course, Jude's a fantastic player, and he has a really good brain in terms of his movement and the spaces that he sees. And I think we complement each other really well, whether one of us is dropping deep, the other one running in behind, and vice versa. So, an amazing player to play with. He likes to get in the box, he likes to affect games and score goals, which is always important for an attacking midfielder. So, I think the more we train with each other, the more we play with each other, hopefully that relationship can get even stronger, but it feels strong already.
We will touch on that clip in just a second. A reminder, please do get your comments and score predictions in for the England game, and we will come back to them just in a few minutes' time. But Harry Kane speaking about Jude Bellingham there. Jude Bellingham has got so much pressure on him this tournament. But before we speak about that, are they going to get in each other's way? We've got Harry Kane, the goal-scoring machine for Bayern Munich. We've got Jude Bellingham, a Ballon d'Or contender after a ridiculous season at Real Madrid. Your face was like, oh, I don't know. But are they going to get in each other's way?
I don't believe so. I mean, both of them with such high amounts of quality, I think they'll complement each other, to be honest. Jude will be getting in behind Harry at points, and that's what Harry's so good at coming, receiving the ball, and playing players in behind him as well. So I think it can work both ways. Jude can assist Harry, get him a few goals, and Harry can do the same for Jude. So I think it could be a nice partnership.
Yeah, what do you think, Nathan?
Yeah, I agree. I think Bellingham will have quite a free role of kind of just floating around into space. When Kane maybe drops deep, he'll progress forward, and then if not, Bellingham will be dropping deep and playing in Harry Kane, Foden and Saka. So I think it will be an exciting partnership, hopefully for a couple of years on as well.
Going off script here, but just as it's the topic of conversation, are you saying that Bellingham's going to play in that cam? It's central attacking midfield behind Kane, which means that you're having Foden on the left, Saka on the right?
Yeah, so I see it more as Bellingham's playing kind of the 8 role, but he pushes higher than Trent and Rice, obviously.
So you're saying Trent starts?
Yeah, I believe Trent will start. And then I think Foden will play the left wing role in defence. He'll drop back into that, but he'll have a lot of freedom to move around the front three, to be honest, and almost be like a floater moving around and playing through the middle. That's what I would like to see. Whether we will, I don't know.
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be quite a fluid team, and I think Trent will start as well. But if not, I think in a game like this where England will have a lot of possession, I'd maybe even prefer like someone like Wharton over Gallagher, who's better on the ball and he's quite quick. Like on the ball, passing it, he rarely takes too many touches. But no, I think Trent will start, and it'll be interesting to see how he fares in midfield in an actual international competition.
So with that front four being Saka, Bellingham, Foden, and Kane.
Saka or Palmer? No,
Saka or Palmer. You're one second. So you're saying that they can't both play?
I think.
I mean, they could if you dropped Jude back and played him as a midfield two with Rice. Palmer at cam, Saka on the right, Foden on the left. If you're saying no Bukayo Saka, then I'd quite like you to leave right now.
I'll pack my bags.
No, is that what you're saying?
No, I don't think so. I think to get the best out of Bellingham, you have to have him higher up, and I think there'd be too much like pressure on Rice to keep it all locked down. I don't think he's that sort of player now. I think he likes to go forward a lot as well. So, yeah, sadly, get rid of Palmer, keep Saka, Bellingham, Foden, Kane, Trent. Rice.
Good decision.
Yeah.
Very, very, very.
You scared me
into
into saying that.
Jude Bellingham, though, he's got the world at his feet. He's got all the pressure at hand, and we heard from Gareth Southgate, who discussed the leadership group within the England camp.
A lot of difficult decisions to make ahead of a game like this. How much do you listen to your players? How involved are they in the decision making?
Well, I think we have a very open relationship with all of the players. We've actually put a small leadership group together for this tournament now with Harry, Kyle Walker, Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham, because there's a different dynamic to this group. There's a lot of younger players, and I want to make sure that the voices of the younger players are, that I'm really in touch with that as well. So, I don't want to leave here with any stone unturned. I don't want to have missed anything, and it's always important to know what the players are thinking. They have good views, they have good experiences, and also there will be some decisions that I will take without talking to any of them.
There's two things that really come into my mind from that clip. Number one is, oh my gosh, he trusts Jude Bellingham. And everyone seems to. The guy must just be perfect in every sense of the word. Number two is that Kyle Walker, Jude Bellingham, Declan Rice, and Harry Kane, seemingly, if they're the leadership group, are guaranteed starters, and Jordan Pickford, you'd assume, which means that we have 5 of the starting 11 guaranteed pretty much for every game. Yeah, what do you think? What's your 11 that you would play?
My 11, it would be Pickford, Kyle Walker, Gay, Stones, Shaw. But
If fit.
Yeah, if fit. Then if not fit, there's actually a very valid comment in the chat asking from Anchises saying how is 33-year-old Trippier making the team at left back instead of Gomez, who excelled there for Liverpool and is taller and quicker. And I do actually somewhat agree with that. Gomez has played at left back for Liverpool this year and played very well. He played against Arsenal at left back and locked down Bukayo Saka. So if you go off form this year, that's a very valid point. But I think based on Trippier's experience in tournaments, that's why he's getting in there. So I'll stick Trippier there. Then I'm going Trent, Rice, and Bellingham, and then Foden, Kane, Saka.
Nathan?
Yeah, I agree. I think with Trippier, it's about trust in it. Southgate trusts him, and he has delivered, even when like Pickford as well. Maybe when he struggled at club level, he's always performed for England. And yeah, I think Trippier he offers a lot from set pieces, which are important during.
So does Trent, though. So does Trent.
Trent, yeah.
And what's really weird is, myself included, we're all like, "Oh, Trippier doesn't play left back. Why is he playing left back?" And then we're all just saying, "Okay, just slot Trent in centre mid." Most of us are seemingly in agreement that Trent is going to play in centre mid. I think he will. And he's so good. He's so good there.
It'll be interesting to see how it actually pans out, because in theory it will be really nice, but actually in practice, I'm not entirely sure. And then there's still a good option of Mainu potentially getting in there at some point during this tournament. So I also wouldn't mind seeing that. Completely agree.
Well, please do get your comments in, get your score predictions in. We will touch on them very, very, very soon. But one more clip from Gareth Southgate. We always have such high expectations going in, and here's what he had to say about his chances.
They said you're entering the age of unreason, where you can't win even if you win. They called it the Gareth conundrum. fail to win the Euros and you'll be cast as a fraud. Win and you'll be jeered for not winning more. How do you reflect on that and how you're perceived yourself in England?
Well, I'd rather win and give that bit a go. I've been in the job for 8 years, so I understand the landscape. Everybody that's been in the job has experienced the same thing, and I just try now to prepare the team in the best possible way, and we're really looking forward to the beginning of the tournament.
Regardless of your opinions of his style of play or whatever, I think he handles himself so well, Gareth Southgate. What is a success for England? Because only one team can win it. Hopefully it will be England, but if it's not, is that a failure?
I personally think it is a failure, yeah. I think Southgate, with the length of time he's had with this squad and team now, England should be winning a tournament at some point.
Okay.
And this is the one they should be winning.
Just a second. Any comments on there? Because we can come back to that in a second.
Yeah, so there's one guy that will probably, called Trusay, that will probably agree with the reporter alluding to the fact that Southgate would be a fraud if he doesn't win this. He's commented saying, "We want Southgate out, so we want Southgate out." I think we know what side of the fence he's on in terms of Southgate, yeah.
What do you think, Nathan?
I don't know, it's so difficult to say, like, oh yeah, they need to win it, because there's so many factors in knockout football. It's like it can just all be about luck, you know. England know all about that. They've always often been on the wrong side of it. But yeah, I think the way Southgate has progressed the squad, and now he is a much more attacking manager, I suppose, and he takes on teams. So I think a final, and then whatever happens in the final happens, and it should be a success if we get to the final.
What's really weird for me is, like, you think back to that England golden generation. They didn't win anything. And people have somewhat fond memories of Wenger and Eriksson. The two tournaments before Gareth comes in, 2014 World Cup, out in the groups. 2016, the single worst performance in England national team's history against Iceland, which we somewhat replicated last week. Since Gareth has come in, we've got to a World Cup semi-final, the final of the Euros, and we got knocked out by the eventual runners-up at the last World Cup. It's hard to win international trophies. You can't say he's a fraud for not winning something.
No.
Yes, sometimes I will personally agree that we've played a little bit more boring football under Gareth than we've been able to showcase. But we've done unbelievably well. I think it's so harsh to label him as a fraud.
I agree that he won't be a fraud, but I still believe his tenure will be a failure if he doesn't win this tournament. I think he has to win a trophy. Whilst all of those achievements you mentioned are good, and he's got rid of the penalty shootout voodoo, and we've reached the final, but then we still haven't won, and football is about winning. So and I think this squad is good enough to win. It should have won the Euros in 2020. That team was better than Italy's team.
Agreed.
Got an early lead, and then in-game management was very poor from Southgate, and that's how that game was lost. So yeah, I wouldn't call him a fraud. I think he's actually done very good things for the England football team, but I do believe it will be a failure if he doesn't win a trophy with them.
Today's game is absolutely huge. As said, we've partnered with Sofascore, who have given us all of the stats and insights into England's four danger men: Harry Kane, Bukayo Saka, Phil Foden, and Jude Bellingham. Nathan, who is England's biggest threat today?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at those stats, it does make you think, yeah, if he doesn't win, then maybe it is a failure. But yeah, I think looking at Kane, 44 goals, he's going to be the main man. If we can get him in good positions, he will finish them, and that will be down to these three and the players playing behind him. But yeah, Foden, it'll be interesting to see how he performs, because he's never really done something special in an England shirt, but there's been so much expectation and so much praise for him this season in a Man City shirt. So it'll be interesting to see how he performs today and for the rest of the tournament.
The one thing I notice about this graphic on the screen right now is that all of these players are very good at football. We are very, very blessed to have such good attacking options. Goals are going to come, aren't they?
Yeah, they most definitely are. But there is something to be said that outside of Harry Kane, neither of these three have over 3 or 4 goals in major tournaments. So they don't have a mad amount of experience and a huge record of scoring goals and getting assists in these major tournaments. So yeah, whilst they've all had amazing seasons, and I'm sure they will score goals, they don't have loads of experience.
I personally am not a big fan of the experience argument because you've all got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
like you.
But then also Foden for England has scored 4 goals in 34 games, which compared to kind of City numbers and whatnot is obviously really, really low. So in an England shirt, he hasn't been that great. And it has to be said that in the Iceland game, he was very, very poor in the 10 role. So yeah, I'm sure he will do well in this tournament, but he hasn't historically.
He's coming off the back of one of the greatest seasons we've seen. So I think he'll have all the confidence going in. You look at these 4 in particular. If England aren't to win, not the tournament as a whole, but tonight, it's not going to be down to these 4, is it? It's going to be the defence.
Yeah, 100%. The defence is going to be a key part to this England team and whether it will actually hold up, I guess.
Do you think we have a weak link?
What, in the whole squad?
Hopefully the Serbians aren't listening, but yeah.
No, yeah. I'd be worried if they are, to be honest, before the game. But yeah, I think probably left back and maybe the Rice partner. We'll see how it goes today. But, putting 2 players who aren't in their best position in a squad is quite risky, especially in a knockout game. But if it works, it'll be great. If it doesn't, you still have 2 games to rectify it.
Please do download Sofascore. 25 million users. You can get all the detailed stats and heat maps like we have on the screen just there. Any comments that are coming through ahead of today's game? We must have quite a few.
Yeah, we do. So we have Rogers Fond saying England will never win anything with Southgate. No need for a double pivot in the midfield at all. Play 3 in there, which in terms of the double pivot, that's potentially a fair argument. But I think the way that they might line up might not be a double pivot, so we'll see. We've got footballs going home. So that's obviously an England fan that's looking forward to the Euro starting. The fact that Southgate has been there for 8 years is a scandal. I think we disagree. We've had Allez le Bleu, so we've had some French fans in here.
Bonjour, comment ça va?
Yeah, and then that's the roundup so far.
Fine. Let's go away from this game for a second, but still talk on England because it's just England in an international tournament. There's nothing better. You get all those people that don't even like football and they're suddenly like back for it. I love international football. Everybody's excited. What's your favourite England moment at a European Championships?
Well, I was at the quarterfinal against Germany, Euro 2020, and that has to be up there. Singing Sweet Caroline at the end of that game, 80,000, 75,000 England fans in there was pretty special.
Yeah, I remember. I agree. I was at a pub with my mates watching it outside in a beer garden. It's like, what's better, and the game. There's so many emotions when Müller went through a miss. You're like, oh my god, and then Sterling scored before that, and then Kane scores another. It's wow, yeah.
It was
great.
It was sensational. That day, England just lit up that day. I'd love for us to beat the Germans in Germany this time around. One thing that people somewhat forget about Euro 2020, Euro 2021 is that in the semi-final, Harry Kane missed a penalty before slotting home the rebound. He then missed a penalty against France in the last World Cup. Penalties in England it's the biggest talking point in our country and around the world when they think of England. We've got Ivan Toney and Cole Palmer in the squad. I think partially they're in the squad. Well, more Ivan Toney than Cole Palmer is in the squad because of his penalty-taking prowess. England get a penalty, 120th minute in the last 16, quarterfinal, semi-final. Who do you want taking it?
So, will it be Harry Kane? They have to be on the pitch,
let's pretend every single player in the squad is available.
Okay.
Who do you want?
Well, I'm going to give it to Harry Kane, even though he has missed 2. I think he can't do it 3 times in a row again.
Yeah, surely he can't do it 3. He's quite good at getting hat tricks, but hopefully not that sort of hat trick. But yeah, I think it's got to be Harry Kane. Surely, it's just you trust him. He does score penalties, but maybe when the pressure's on, it's a bit of a struggle. But
a certain type of DNA that's associated
exactly
with that when the pressure's on. But
well, one thing that is obviously really, really, really refreshing for all England fans to know is that we have no Tottenham players in the squad this summer. So we'll have none of that Tottenham DNA, ruining the vibes or giving us that bottling mentality.
Just an interesting comment that's come through from Bright. He said, I like Southgate. In my humble opinion, Kane is the issue. So Bright wouldn't be starting Kane by the sounds of things. But
he wouldn't be starting Kane?
That would be a big call.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
The captain.
Yeah. The captain, goal scorer.
I'm a little bit speechless. We'll go on to everybody's favourite thing to do. Score prediction today.
I am going, even though I said to you boys that I'm a little bit less sure now after kind of looking into Serbia more, I'm going to go 2-1 England. I think it will be close.
Yeah, I mean, I remember on the first show I was on, like the first one, I was not confident, but I've completely changed now. And I think I'm going to go 3-1 England. And I think Kane will score just to back him.
What's really weird about this tournament is my optimism has fluctuated massively. I don't know whether we're going to completely fly or whether we're going to be terrible. Just England at the Euros is very weird. Euro 2016, appalling. Euro 2012, yeah. Like, I don't really have any words for it. 2008, we didn't qualify. I'm going for a very cagey 1-1 draw to kick off the tournament. I think that there's so much hype going in. I think the pressure's going to get to us a little tiny bit. And also, I need a different opinion to both of you. Otherwise, it's a bit boring.
There has been no like big upset yet either. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, all the big teams, Spain, Germany, and Italy, have all performed well. So maybe it's England's role to maybe not.
Anyway, I massively do hope I am wrong. I hope there is no upset, at least in our game today.
Yeah.
But that's all we have time for today. Please do go off and watch Poland versus the Netherlands. I'm sure that will actually be quite interesting. And a reminder that we are live every single day at 1 o'clock, bringing you all the greatest action from around the tournament. Download Sofascore because it's absolutely brilliant. But for now,